Guys, back in today with more Oshi, this time with episode 6, I believe, of episode 5 of season 3. Fantastic episode last week. I feel really bad for Kana. She had a horrible minute-long scene with Aqua, which sucks, especially considering how she's already feeling. But yeah, awesome stuff with Akane at the end of the episode, putting herself in ice shoes again, figuring out some rather disturbing details surrounding Aqua and Ruby's father, and I can't remember, and his other son. I'll put it, and his other son, even more disturbing, to be honest. Learned a bit more about Ruby's involvement in the events before this episode as well, which was cool. But yeah, no idea what to expect today, but this season has been pretty awesome so far. I keep saying this. Well, I keep saying it. I don't think I mentioned it that many times, but I had heard, as was the same with Kaguya-sama, this author's works never seem to apparently end too well, according to manga readers. Manga readers always seem to say that both of these series have quite bad endings. But so far, I'm really enjoying it. I don't think we're that close to an ending yet. Might be another season or two. I found every time I've heard that, not just in this author series, but in other series, that's never been the case. Like Attack on Titan, heard so much bad stuff about the ending of that series. Yeah, it was absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, that's crazy work. That's crazy work, guys. But yeah, it's turned out every time it's been the case where the manga readers say the ending's bad, it's actually been good. So, forgive me, I'm not going to trust your opinion on endings anymore. I Hero Academia, you see the difference in reception that the manga versus the anime got. And yeah, crazy work. That's a murder him in cold blood. So she's got to keep the information from him. Okay. Oh, and she's got to deal with it herself. So this was a big question, wasn't it? What exactly she'd do with all this information. So she's going to help him, but she's just not going to tell him about it. Respectable. Although, it's unfortunate now she's kind of heavily involved in this as well. We had Aqua, then Ruby, and now Kane's involved in fucking. Hopefully she doesn't get quite as bad as those two, though. Big undertaking considering all the work she's doing as well, isn't it? Oh, Prince Charming. That worked. Fiction. It must be such a shame for Aqua because she's such a good girlfriend. I say that because it's still like kind of pretendy, right? But he must be ashamed that it is. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to actually talk about because of it's a very weird situation. They're like dating, but they're kind of not, but they kind of are. They're kind of not. But yeah. Like, what did his sister say? He went after corporations. He's got that corpo backing, right? She's a total. Oh, is she talking about the woman that Ruby got? Oh, if this guy's appearances are going to be reduced to this, I'm going to be very glad. So yeah, I think she's talking about the cosplay woman. Oh wait, no, this is an old video. Who's she talking about here now? Sorry, guys. A wet weekend. Okay, so it doesn't actually say who she's talking about here. Okay. She's getting cancelled, is she? Oh, the cancel culture on the internet is crazy, isn't it? Your job, your life, you could literally just be over like that. I mean, it's the classic thing, like just turn the screen off, and it shouldn't affect you. But there's much more to it than that. Got to get that classic apology video. See, I've been thinking. I kind of thought at the start of the season there's going to be a new member to be Komachi, isn't there? But it needs something because the vibes is just horrid. I mean, it's more successful than ever. But yeah, she didn't even ask. Yeah, she didn't even bloody ask anyone about it. But yeah, things are better than ever success wise. But like as an actual group, it's pretty terrible right now. No. Well, this reminds me of a movie I watched a couple of nights ago for the first time, which is going to sound crazy to you guys, but I watched Parasite for the first time a couple of nights ago, and it was absolutely phenomenal. Probably my favorite of his movies. I've watched a couple. The Host I watched years ago, and then I watched Memories of Murder a couple of years back as well, and that was absolutely fantastic. But yeah, finally got around to Parasite, and I guess she's got something slightly similar going on. I've always kind of felt a bit like that, or I used to anyway. Like some of my friends and such. Like I never had my parents did. I'd never got like an allowance. I never had like a part-time job as a youngster and such. So sometimes I'd feel like my friends were. I feel like a bit of a parasite, a bit of a leech off my friends. Sometimes felt really bad for it. like a situation like this. I looked older, so I used to be able to buy alcohol at a younger age than you should be, and I guess that was kind of the trade off. I'd be able to like buy stuff and get stuff and acquire things. So I'd like pay for it and stuff. Snake eyes. What did I say? Blatant fluids. Brave bitch. Who's got to do for a job, eh? Ruby Hoshino's group, huh? Oh yeah, his explanation of the group proved that, didn't it? Actually does. She's a brilliant actress. Dog photo hair. I used to have a German Shepherd. They're lovely. But dog photos. Sorry, it just reminded me of this thing. It's not really anything to do with anything right now, but if you ever like play against someone online or in like a poker or any kind of like thing like that, like a game or something, and someone's got like a dog photo, it's, I heard it before, and it actually rings very true. You pretty much know they're an amateur. You know they're there to be exposed. So if you're playing like an online poker game or anything, which I play, but I don't put money on it. I don't really gamble or anything nowadays. Although I'm pretty damn good at poker, I will say. Yeah, you know you've got a bit of a maybe not a noob per se, but someone that's not as yeah. If they've got a dog photo, you should feel pretty lucky. uh, so I'm kind of wondering. It's usually like, oh, he's got a dog. What a lovely guy. How cute is that? Um, and he seemed pretty alright, but I don't know. This whole situation feels a little exploitative. I don't know. I'm not really sure what the word is. I mean, if you were a piece of shit and you were in a position of like a director, you would be taking advantage of people 100%, wouldn't you? I said this before, but the show sometimes kind of reminds me of Audition, where like the first half of that movie is like women auditioning to be part of like a movie, yet it's actually them auditioning to be a girlfriend for the main character. And I won't say anything further. That movie really took me by surprise. Just how different each half of it was. See, I couldn't ever think of allowing anyone to do this for me. pretty much no. Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. You can, but you are just 18. I mean, she's kind of been an adult for a long time. I've mentioned this plenty of times. She kind of had to turn into an adult when she was a child, so she probably is more mature than 18. But 18 is still not like you're still not making great decisions at 18, are you? Well, I certainly wasn't. It just kind of sucked to see you kind of like acting like this. I don't know. I don't really take any pleasure in seeing her in this environment acting, like pretending to be someone. I mean, you've been seeing that a bit with that whole like. I think there have been movies. I think I heard about in recent years. There were like movies that only like they'd only hire actors or actresses that had like a certain amount of like Instagram followers or something, right? So there's got to be like initial. Don't get me wrong. There's loads of like indie movies and such coming out, which are like better than ever. Like A24's releasing some great stuff recently, and there's studios like that that will like take chances and so on. Um, but yeah, you do usually see like most projects nowadays will have like a couple big stars, and they probably only get greenlit if they can get like a couple of big like draws for the movie. So this is some really interesting kind of topics we're going over here. 14. Then again, you think of like man, I mean I still am. I used to play Borderlands 2. That's probably the game I've got the most hours on. Grinding, farming. Still not got a sham above 90%. Not that I've played it in years, but it just kind of reminds me of that movie where there's so many stars, and it probably got greenlit because so many stars agreed to be in it. I haven't even watched it, to be honest, just because I haven't heard a good thing about it. But it also shows that there's clearly negatives of going about it that way as well. Yes, there's an initial kind of big draw to fans of those actors, but yeah. Again, this guy seems actually like a pretty decent guy. Can't help but feel that there's a dark side somewhere. But nothing to suggest that so far, but that's why I feel that there might be. Because there has been nothing to suggest it. If you could be yourself, Canna. like a fish on a hook. Hmm. How old do you have to be to drink alcohol in Japan? Is it not 18? It's a bit odd, considering I googled a couple of weeks ago the age of consent in Japan was seems a bit crazy that you're not allowed to drink at 18, yet the age of consent in Japan was 13 not so long ago. Is that not like crazy? Is that not just like insane that that's the case? You don't have the responsibility of drinking, yet you could legitimately have a child at 14 years of age, have that responsibility on you for the rest of your life. Seems a bit like who am I to say this, but yeah. I guess I'll look that up quickly because I did just want to see what she was texting there. I mean, my guess is if it's not 18, it's 21, like it is in America. But as I said earlier, I'd procure like alcohol and like stuff like that for my friends at like 14, 15 years of age. As I said, I used to have a mustache. People call me Mexican. I used to kind of hate that, to be honest. People just call me the Mexican. And yeah, I hated that. And then I shaved off, and then I got lots of very popular with the ladies when I shaved off. To my surprise, because I wasn't very popular at all before that. And then I'd like grow it back so I could like buy alcohol and stuff. Kind of away from the point. I typed in America, Japan, age to drink alcohol. But yeah, I was drinking from like 14. Like I got a lot of the drinking and drug stuff out of my system from like age 14 to like 20. And I barely, well, I haven't done drugs in like seven or 8 years, like a very long time. And I really don't drink very often at all. It's 20 years old in Japan. Okay, again, that's just crazy, no? Like age of consent 13, age to drink 20. Like what the hell? It's taking forever. I'll be why I understood. We're gonna start. We're heading over to Shima D's office next. His staff are still where you still held up. But yeah, I'm really glad I got through that stuff earlier on in my life because I feel like it would probably be harder to give that stuff up when you're an adult, when your kind of tendencies and hobbies and such actually kind of set in. Um, and I know a few people that I did like go to school with and such that struggle with that because they started later. There ain't no staff here, is there? Not surprising. Why would anyone be here? Oh dear. I mean, please don't. Please. I hope this. Oh God. Yeah. I kind of hope this doesn't go where I think it's going, but she's really desperate. I think we're past that. Will he take no for an answer, though? That's the thing I'm worried about here. Like I said, there's been nothing to suggest anything bad from him so far. This is a little dodgy, especially the fact that he lied about his staff being here. I just hope it doesn't go that way. And like the annoying thing is, if she does like deny him and stuff, she probably won't get to work for him. Is she? Is he married as well? Well, all the red flags get set off right now. I said, yeah, I guess I couldn't have been more wrong about saying nothing seems too bad about him. Married, set us up here, literally admits to half this shit as well. I mean, at least he's honest. This guy's done this plenty of times before, hasn't he? Bloody hell. Don't do this, Cameron. This guy's, you know this for a fact. This guy's done this so many times before. He's said this to so many women, hasn't he? He's taken advantage of. He's taken it. Yeah, it's not even like he's just like in the usual sense of taking advantage. He's literally taken advantage of her psyche, how she viewed her acting career. I mean, he's clearly done his research and stuff, but again, how many women has he done this to? Has he said this to? Oh, you can reach your former glory days. You can reach your pinnacle in one of my movies, and like this is everything you want to hear, and this is the type of stuff that I'd be like, yeah, you know what, to get there, doing this isn't such a bad trade off. What you is probably what like the internal thinking is in Canada. It's like, oh, just this one night will get me back to that. Well, it's absolutely worth it, even if I don't want to. And it's just like that's such a scumbag thing to do, right? Such a scumbag thing to do. Like, if I was in this position, I mean, it's easy to say what you'd hope you'd be like and what you'd do. Maybe I'd be. I mean, if I was actually in this position, I'd probably be a completely different person. So I can't say what I'd do or what I wouldn't do. But if I was myself, as I am now in this position, I'd be very wary of even getting into a situation like this where it could seem like I'd do this to someone because of the thought of. I think it'd be very hard for me to actually have like a girlfriend and for them to think that I wouldn't be taking advantage of them, if that makes sense. Like to get in a situation like this, and if I actually did like an actress, it would be very hard for them not to think I'd be taking advantage of them, even if I did like genuinely like them. So I'd probably try and avoid those situations as much as possible. So yeah, this guy again, it's funny. The red flag was there initially because there was no red flags, and now they're just popping up all over the place. Holy shit! I do just want to rewind a bit here, actually. But again, I mean, at least he's honest about all this, to be honest. Bloody hell. I really hope she doesn't go through with this. I feel like it's going to happen, though. Kind of make me feel a bit sick, to be honest with you. I think a part of that comes from us seeing Kana as like a literal child earlier on in the series. She's an adult 18-year-old now, so it's not like illegal or anything, but like I still don't feel like yeah, as I said, I feel a bit sick about this. I mean, the circumstances heavily playing with that. Okay, you know, I won't bother sorting out the time because I've only got a minute left, a minute or two left. But yeah, I feel sick right now. This is the aspect I hate the most: the fact that he's playing with her kind of psyche like this and her self-confidence and career intentionally as well. By the way, like there's no way this is unintentional. Brand of sacrifice. Fucking get this guy. Get the good hand on this guy. Good. Hey, let's fucking go, Canada. Bless you. You fucking creep. You fucking creep. Better than you. Wow, this situation's fucking turned. Wow. Thank God, by the way. Thank fucking God. I feel that's quite rare for women to be like that. I feel like women have a lot of opportunities to move on. Especially the more attractive you are. What the hell? Who the hell is this? Oh no, Scandal. Who's that? I don't recognise him. I swear I recognise that guy. Well, that's not good. I mean, she had a scandal earlier on in her career with like drinking at a younger age and stuff, right? And now you know what the headline's going to be: Kana Arima star Rebecca Machi is sleeping with director blah blah blah. Director Creepsan. I'm gonna say creep. He wasn't a creep. He was quite predatory, I feel, but maybe that's just me. Maybe he wasn't actually awfully predatory. That's the way I saw it. I saw him as a bit of a predator, bit of a lurker, take advantage of a poor girl's situation. As I said, I feel like I grew up in an age where you're very conscious of doing things like that. Maybe too conscious, some would say, but better to be safe than sorry. Absolutely. Like pretty much most of the women I've been with, they've kind of initiated things because, as I said, it's just like, yeah, better safe than sorry. You also see plenty of women complain about stuff like that, of like men not kind of coming up to them and things like that nowadays. But you're kind of the ones that initiated that happening, I feel. But yeah, really good episode. Last 10 minutes especially were quite nail biting. I was really hoping that wouldn't happen, and thank God. Thank God that situation turned around there. But yeah, not looking too good for Kana with this. Well, I say that. There's that classic saying, isn't there? Any publicity is good publicity. So maybe this might actually end up coming around and being a good thing. But this doesn't look great, especially she's not going to like this because of Aqua and the potential Aqua kind of catching onto this and such. Yeah. Doesn't make me wonder though. Like, I fucking hate paparazzi. And that was one of the biggest parts of. Well, I say one of the biggest. It wasn't one of the biggest, but it was a decently sized portion of Nana, which was probably my favorite or one of my favorite romance anime. Um, and I just never really got my head around paparazzi. Like, if you guys watch that movie like Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal, that's a fantastic movie. When you actually think about these guys' careers, their whole careers should be illegal. Like, they're stalkers, they're harassers, they take unconsented photos. Like, everything these guys do is actually illegal to the normal person, yet they get away with it because it's their job. I mean, there's a few jobs like that, but that's one of the most obvious ones of like, how do you get away with this shit? You can, because you say it's your job title, and it's like, they're just absolute scumbag bastards, rat fucking pieces of shit, aren't they? And it's one of like the most hate. I think everybody knows it's one of the most hated professions, and rightfully so, because like I said, they're just horrible little rats. But like, was this guy just tailing them all night? How long was this guy waiting there? Like, what kind of dickhead scumbag you gotta be to be just like waiting out there like that? I don't know why I feel like we recognise him. Why do I recognise him? He kind of looks familiar. I mean, we've seen a few characters that look similar to this throughout the show, but I swear we actually like know this guy. Maybe I'm wrong there. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if we do. But yeah, great stuff here. Like I said, kind of sheds a light on how people in positions of power can be quite predatory and take advantage of people that, like Kanna, have something they, in plenty of cases, are willing to trade off. Like, I feel like plenty of actresses and actors are willing to kind of trade off things like this in terms of, oh, I'll have sex with you so I can get this role and further my career. Plenty of people are willing to kind of make that trade. I'm glad she wasn't. But in a lot of those circumstances, even if they agree to it and accept it, they're still kind of being taken advantage of, and it still is very predatory. So I still don't like it, even if they do agree with it in most cases. So I think this episode done a really good job at kind of showing us this in like, not the, I mean, in a usual anime, if we were to see this, it would be like he would be an absolute shit scumbag. Like, he was actually like a reasonably decent, honest guy. I say that he's cheating on his wife, so how honest can he be, really? But like, in how he kind of goes about things, I guess it was quite honest. So they've done this in quite an interesting way, where he wasn't an actual, like, he was an awful, he was an awful guy, but like, it was quite a realistic, I guess, depiction of this. And yeah, some great stuff in the second half there. Even like the way they met here and stuff was really cool. Love the focus on Kanna today. Love this little talk with Akane as well. I thought this was absolutely adorable, and like I said, I'm really not sure how to like feel about this all, because again, they're kind of like dating, but they're not really. They kind of are really, but then they're not. It's like, it's slightly like complex in that regard. Like, I kind of just wish they kind of were dating, even though Kanna is probably my favorite character in the show. I kind of wish they just kind of were dating, because of how good like the chemistry is and how well they kind of fit each other, and especially just how awesome Akane is in terms of her commitment. Like, willing to take all this on her shoulders. Like, she's almost like the perfect girlfriend, but maybe she's too perfect. I don't know. Again, it's just almost kind of sad that they're not actually like kind of dating, but and that, again, that's from a Kanna kind of big fan. So yeah, looking forward to seeing more of Akane's journey for sure. Like I said, the conversation with her and Aqua was fantastic. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Plenty to talk about today. Really awesome topics covered, especially in the second half, but some great stuff in the first half as well, of course. Leave a like on the video if you guys did like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. And I'll catch you guys next week with episode 6, I believe.